You're carrying more than people can see. And you didn't start this way. This weight didn't appear overnight. It didn't arrive all at once. It formed quietly through responsibility, expectation, and time. At first, it felt manageable. You told yourself you could handle it. You told yourself it was temporary. So you kept going. You kept showing up even when rest felt necessary. You kept functioning even when your mind felt crowded. You kept holding things together because someone had to. And slowly, strength turned into pressure. From the outside, it looks like discipline. It looks like maturity. It looks like resilience. But inside, it feels like weight that never fully leaves. Weight you carry into your mornings. Weight that follows you into your nights. Most people don't see it. They see consistency. They see reliability. They don't see what it costs you to stay that way. This kind of weight doesn't come from weakness. It comes from endurance. Scripture understands endurance. The Lord gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Isaiah 40:29. That verse is not for people who quit easily. It is for people who stayed longer than their strength could comfortably support. You stayed. You stayed because responsibility didn't pause. You stayed because others depended on you. You stayed because stopping felt like it would cause everything to fall apart. Some of what you're carrying comes from responsibility, not just tasks, but outcomes. You felt responsible for keeping peace, for holding emotional balance, for being the stable one when others felt uncertain. You carried decisions that affected more than just you. You carried consequences you couldn't fully control, and because you managed it well, no one stopped to ask how heavy it became. But God noticed. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. Psalm 139:1. God knows the weight you don't explain. The pressure you learned to normalize. The tiredness you learned to ignore. He sees past your composure. He sees the effort behind your consistency. He knows how much energy it takes just to remain steady. Some of what you're carrying comes from emotional weight. Disappointments that were never fully processed. Losses that were acknowledged but never healed. Moments where you had to keep moving even though something inside you needed time. You didn't deny the pain. You postponed it. And postponed pain doesn't disappear. It settles deeper. My soul is weary with sorrow. Psalm 69:3. Scripture doesn't pretend sorrow is harmless. God doesn't expect faith to erase emotional exhaustion. He names it. He allows it to exist. He meets you there. Some of what you're carrying comes from silence. You didn't speak because explaining felt exhausting. You didn't share because you didn't want to burden anyone. You didn't complain because others were leaning on you. So you carried it alone. And silent weight is often the heaviest kind. My guilt has overwhelmed me like a burden too heavy to bear. Psalm 139:6. God does not dismiss internal weight just because it's invisible. He does not measure pain by how loud it is. He knows that being strong often means being alone with pressure. Some of what you're carrying comes from waiting. Waiting for clarity. Waiting for answers. Waiting while still being faithful. Waiting while life continues to demand strength from you. I'm worn out from my groaning. Psalm 6:6. Waiting drains energy quietly, and God sees exhaustion that comes from delay. You may wonder why rest doesn't restore you the way it used. T.O. Why sleep helps your body but not your soul is because you're not just tired. You're carrying something unresolved. And God knows exactly what that is. You have kept count of my tossings, put my tears in your bottle. Psalm 56:8. That includes the tears you didn't cry, the prayers you didn't finish, the thoughts you carried into the night. Nothing about this weight escaped God's attention. You may have questioned your faith lately, not because you stopped believing, but because believing started to feel heavy. That does not mean you are failing spiritually. It means you have been faithful under pressure. Jesus understands this kind of burden. Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Matthew 7:28. He didn't say, "Come when you're strong again." He said, "Come because you're carrying too much." God never intended for you to hold everything alone. Praise be to the Lord, who daily bears our burdens. Psalm 68:19. Daily. That means today's weight was never meant to rest entirely on you. Some of what you're carrying was necessary for a season, but necessary does not mean permanent. Endurance helped you survive. But survival was never the destination. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. Psalm 34:18. Close does not mean distant concern. It means presence. God is not observing your struggle from afar. He is near it. He is attentive to it. You're not weak for feeling this way. You're tired because you've been strong for too long, and strength, when carried alone, becomes weight. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 27. Healing is careful. Binding wounds takes time. God does not rush restoration. For people who are drained slowly, this season is not about proving how much more you can carry. It is about learning what you were never meant to carry alone. You don't have to explain yourself to be seen. You don't have to collapse to be understood. You don't have to break to receive care. God already knows. You're carrying more than people can see, and God has never missed it. If this message spoke to your heart, like, share, and subscribe, so it can reach someone who is quietly carrying too much. And if you feel led, comment. God sees what I'm carrying. May His peace find you today.